Yes. Hello, everyone. Let's see, A11. Your name.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Please. Okay, so there's 8 of us on here.
Yes.
So we give another 5 minutes and then.
Sure.
What do you think?
Sure, no problem.
You've seen you've seen the list of who's been invited. So
Yes.
there's about 2021 with the addition of Pak Alan from the Perbatasan.
From Finimo. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's great, Ibu. We have you list down the invitee list. You said Ramu Agri Industry, and then Zinak Chicken.
Yes.
National Fishery Authorities, PNG Investment Authority, and then from KBRI, Bang Sabar Manalu, and then Julie Health and Beauty, PNG Fashion
Jules.
International.
Yeah,
yes,
Jules Health. Yeah.
Juice Health. Juice Health and Beauty, not July, yeah. Juice Health and Beauty. And then Hugo Canning, Ox and Palm.
Yeah.
And then 12 other SMEs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope they all, and then the rest is, the next is Pak Alan Simarmata.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, so it actually should be, I hope so too, yes.
Yes, I hope they can all join this event. Yes.
Yeah, it's a Papua New Guinea Investment Promotion Authority.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good morning, sir.
Yeah.
The
yes.
Galaxy A11.
So I've just asked somebody else, would you?
Sure. Okay. We can wait until 5 minutes or
Galaxy
10 minutes.
A11. I've asked them in the chat to give us their name if they can. Galaxy A11.
The video is already open, Ibu Mari.
Yes, because as you know, his video.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much.
Hi. Who's this? Okay.
I'm in Papua New Guinea.
All right.
Western Islands Province.
Wonderful.
Yes, I want to export some of my products here.
Okay.
We are known for agriculture.
Sure.
So that's why I just want to. Yes.
Wonderful. How did you find us? You saw it on the Facebook?
Yes.
How did you? Oh, brilliant. And can you give us your name, please, sir?
My name is Richard Lazarus.
Richard Lazarus. Well, welcome to our webinar. We will start very soon. And so we're just waiting. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad that you saw that on the AIDAN, was it AIDAN Limited Facebook page that you saw it on? Wonderful.
Yes,
thank you.
One of a Muslim friend gave it to me. So
brilliant.
So
wonderful.
I just want to export my chicken, cow. So they said meat only. So I've got other products like
brilliant.
Agriculture products. They are organic, not fertilizer, whatnot, but they are all organic from the land.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. It's Richard, right? I'll just get your name. I'll just get your name down. It's Richard.
Richard Lazarus.
Yes.
Lazarus. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, this is really great. I'm so glad. I'm sure.
Thank you.
So we will have a great time. You can ask questions after the presentation. And Pa Adi, you have Garnet. There's somebody there called Garnet.
Yes, it's a Pak Garnet is our expert. Yes, he's our expert in halal certification.
Okay, brilliant on the halal. Brilliant. Yes.
Pak Garnet,
okay,
have you met
we now have
Ibu Mari?
Yes. We've met during the business meeting last time when you bring in at the time people looking for shirts and sugar. I remember that you said that you like palm sugar.
Yes.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I still do.
Yes. Pak Garnet here is our Chief of Technology, Ibu Mari, and then he's also the expert of the halal certification in Bisnits.com. So wonderful. we can have his knowledge and we can pick his brain about the halal certification and also about the other kind of products that might be suited for the Indonesian market as well, actually. Yeah. So Ibu Mari, we have also Ibu Dorothy,
Luana. Dorothy Luana is on. Oh,
Dorothy Luana.
She's just joined us. Okay. Yes. Brilliant. She's joined us. Wonderful. So welcome, Richard, and welcome.
Thank you so much. So, I'm really interested in what you guys are doing, and the meeting that you are visually conducted. And I can see Mr. Adi out there, again down there, and then Mari, you guys are doing well. I'm very happy. I'm the business development here in my province. Wonderful. Yes, so I just want to give equal opportunity to my fellow countrymen and women in here. So Western Highlands province, we've got 22 provinces in the country, Papua New Guinea. So Western Highlands province is declared agriculture city, and it's the city of Papua New Guinea. Port Moresby is the first city, Lae is second, and Western Highlands province it's the third city, which is declared as agriculture city. So our products, we put a lot of products, range of products like coffee, fresh coffee, organic. Like now we have a Nebulia coffee in Dubai and US market now. And then we have fresh pineapple. We have cacao, sweet potato. We have fresh banana. We have fresh peanut. We've got a lot of things in here. We are really blessed. Our climate in here, it's really good here. So that's why we want to export in bulk to Indonesia, because last time our Prime Minister James Marvin just went to Indonesia with the counterpart, the President Joko, and then they came up with the MOU that Papua New Guinea from Mount Agen City, Kagomoga International Airport, direct to Jaipura, direct flight. So that's why I was very blessed and very happy. And as the officer responsible in here, I just want to export everything there.
Okay, that's very good, Bapak Richard. So you live in the western province of Papua New Guinea, right?
Western
Islands province.
Western Island province.
Yes, so, Islands province.
Islands province. That's very good. Is it close to Papua province? Is it close to the Indonesian border?
Yes, very close. Close to.
Very close.
In the Indonesian border.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Very good. Very good.
Yes. So I'm fortunate to meet you, team. So it's an eye opener for me and my country as well, because all this time we didn't have that communication and that link. So now I want to, I really respect your country, your countrymen and women. I just want to connect my countrymen, my country with your country through farm produce.
Very good, sir.
And then my country and my province, we can import too from you guys.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Ibu Mari, we have also Ibu Dorothy Luana.
Yes. Welcome, Dorothy. to this afternoon's webinar. I'm glad that now Ibu Dorothy is joining us. So thank you so much, Richard. And Ibu Dorothy is joining us from the East New Britain province. So we've got two provincial people here with us. Yeah, so but we still, there's I don't know whether it's the internet connection or it's just people have forgotten about today, or they have probably other priorities. But do you want to wait for, say, another 2 minutes or so, Pak Adi?
Sure, if you want to reconfirm the invite and other invitees, we can wait until other 5 minutes or something.
Others. Yeah, okay,
yes,
5 minutes.
Yes. Meanwhile, we can have a chat with Bapak Richard and also Ibu Dorothy.
Yeah, maybe Ibu Dorothy, maybe she can introduce her product and also her interest in joining us. Ibu Dorothy, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. As you can see,
good afternoon.
I had to run up from my farm to attend this meeting because so I'm still in my farming out gear. But the main thing is that I seriously want to be a part of the trade relationships between Indonesia and Papua New Guinea, because there is opportunity which we never had before. We are very similar in terms of geography and in terms of opportunities. So I am very open to what the possibilities are. I have already started through Ibu Mari, have already been starting to investigate some opportunities for import. While I am a farmer and a farmer, I'm also looking for other opportunities. So I'm very open-minded at this stage to hear about everything and anything that comes our way through our program. So thank you very much, everybody, and let's see how it goes. I'm sitting in my farmhouse up in the bush of the Binance. It's about 1 hour's drive from the main town of Kokopo. So I'm right in the bush. So the fact that I can get some internet here and can connect with you, Marie, and our friends from across the border, I'm very excited.
We are excited too, Ibu Dorothy.
That's it, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I just like your messages, you know, the interest to explore next door for opportunities, but also what they can do for us and what we can do for them. And and the fact that if we are open to ideas, you know, innovation comes in and our economy grows. And we start to look at other partners, ourselves as Papua New Guineans, that we can actually beat the pathways the way it suits us. So happy to welcome yourself and Pak Richard. So thank you so much. So we're still waiting for more people to join us from those companies we've mentioned. Just for your information, Pak Richard and Ibu Dorothy, we've invited also Ramu Agri Industries, Zenek Chicken, Hugo Canning, who's Oxen Palm. We also invited the National Fisheries Authority, who expressed some interest. We also invited the PNG Investment Promotion Authority for direct, foreign direct investment, and vice versa to Indonesia at the SME level, and a whole bunch of other fellow entrepreneurs throughout PNG and here at the NCD. So we'll just give them a little bit of time. But I also appreciate the fact that Ibu Dorothy and Richard, they also have their, their work for Monday, their program. So we don't want to take much of their time. But we'll just, Adi, give a little bit of time some more time?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we can start it soon. Before that.
And anything? What about your team? Yeah, maybe.
Oh, my team. Oh, our team. Yes.
I can
we
see
have
Pak
Pak Ganet here, and then
yes.
we have also Pak Budi. Pak Muhammad Budi is our CEO. Pak Budi here.
Hello.
And we have also we have also Ibu Alia. Yes. Pak Budi, maybe you can introduce yourself to Ibu Mari, Ibu Dorothy, and Pak Richard.
Yes, thank you, Pak Adi. Hello, Bu Mari, Mr. Richard, and Miss Dorothy. Welcome to our meeting today. Hopefully, you get more information. This meeting is about how to send product from your country to Indonesia, especially food and beverage produced by you. Because we have a regulation here in Indonesia that every product that for food product to enter Indonesia, you have to have a halal certificate. So I think this is very interesting information, especially if you would like to send your product to Indonesia. And Bu Mari, our event today is also being relayed in the YouTube. So later on, if you have another interested party who would like to see the rerun, you could always invite them to see this information in YouTube. Thank you very much, Bu Mari, for your cooperation and to spread more information for Papua New Guinea's businessmen who would like to increase the trade with Indonesia. Thank you, Pak Adi.
Yes, thank you. We have also our admins is we have Tuti and also Alia here. We will help them. I mean, they will help us to make this event is very useful. Okay, we have also one of the SME here. This is from Bandung. Is also joined here, Pak Henry Nugraha. He will observe also in this event. Welcome, Pak Henry. And then Pak Ganet, yeah. And I think we should start our event here now, Pak Ibu Mari, because right now it's already 10:50. So we cannot we should not waste Ibu Dorothy and Pak Richard time anymore.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start the event. First of all, I would like to welcoming all the guests in this event. Is we are very appreciate for your attendees here. And this event, we will explain a little bit about the halal certification for any kind of product that will enter Indonesia. And then the halal for your info that the halal certification of Indonesia, it can be used also for other country that may be, later on if Pak Ganet will explain it a little bit more on this issues. Ibu Mari, first of all, thank you, Bu Mari, for organizing this event, and we will open this event with your speech, welcoming speech for all the invitees here. So, Ibu Mari, the floor is yours for your welcoming speech.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Adi. Terima kasih, and selamat siang. It's always good to see everybody. I'm just so pleased to meet Pak Henry, and it's always great to see Pak Budi again and Pak Ganet. We look forward to picking your brains on halal certification. But I just want to do a bit of introduction. Ibu Dorothy and I worked together for some time, but for Pak Richard and the others on your team, my name is Mari Ellingson. I am the Managing Director for AIDAN Limited. We are a small business based here in Port Moresby, but the relationship to this event is that we have a partnership with BizNeeds who are bringing this webinar to us in Papua New Guinea. And so I am very pleased to be able to do this, and I welcome, I to welcome the Ibu Dorothy and Pa Richard, and to say that I'm just very happy to meet the others on the business team. Halal is a new, it's not a new concept, but it's in terms, in the PNG context, it is quite new. And so what I wanted to do here is just to solve the three benefits that I can see Halal has, the three benefits for the PNG, for Papua New Guinea. First of all, it is to do with healthy living. It is because the way Halal is applied, if you like, the principles and the ways in which animal husbandry and poultry is treated. It promotes healthy living, and it is probably the best kept secret that's been next door. So I'm really happy that through this webinar, we are bringing this new way of looking at healthy living. Papua New Guinea has a very high and increasing rate of unnecessary deaths caused through lifestyle diseases. Halal can be a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle, even though it's based on the Islamic religion. As Christians here next door, we can adopt some of those principles in the way that we handle our food. So healthy living. The other benefit, two other benefits is economic benefits. First one is that for smallholders, those that are rearing cattle and those that are having poultry farms, and in some cases, if you're raising sheep or goats, anything that has and is going to bleed blood, this is so relevant to see. Now, the business benefits to SMEs for Papua New Guinea with halal products is that you can carve a niche market within PNG itself. That it doesn't eliminate you at all from big companies like Zenit Chicken and Ramu Beef and Hugo Canning. It doesn't minimize your chances for business opportunity when you have halal products, because you can promote healthy living, you can grow your niche market, and you can have your customer segment right here. The third and final economic benefit that I wanted to mention is to do with tourism. If we introduce halal products into our tourism offer in terms of our hospitality, serving halal food in our restaurants, and the way we prepare food when visitors visit our villages, we will be able to open up Papua New Guinea to a new customer segment that we haven't tapped into. And so it can attract a kind of tourist that is looking at halal food when they go to our restaurants or when they go to our villages. And so both the SMEs and tourism can benefit from introducing halal into Papua New Guinea. So once again, I'm just so grateful that we're able to have this webinar. And on that note, I'll hand this back to Pa Adi. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bu Mari. I like your expression of the best next door kept secret is from Indonesia here.
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret anymore after this event.
After this webinar, yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ibu Mari. So without any further ado, maybe I can let Pak Ganet to present about the halal certification. And guys, let's pick his brain because he's very expert in this area. Pak Garet, it's yours now.
Okay, thank you, Pak Adi. Maybe if Mbak Tuti or Arya can give me permission for screen sharing. Tolong itunya apa share screen-nya di Okay. Let me see. Can everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Fine.
yes.
Okay. Okay. This morning in Indonesia or afternoon there, I will be discussing about halal certification or halal regulation in Indonesia. And actually, my presentation is quite long, but I will skip some of this because it is a very uh, intense discussion when we start talking about halal, because halal, as Ibu Mari said, is not only about of course it is a Muslim religion regulations, but also it is becoming a lifestyle, it becoming healthy and all the good things. I will be talking about the regulations and then who will be deciding whether the food or beverages are actually halal. In this case, to get the halal certificate, then there will be some inspection body and who are they. And then the little bit about halal certification process and quite a lot about halal assurance system, because the halal regulations in Indonesia is based on a system, assurance system, much similar to the quality assurance ISO 9000 or any ISO series management system. And last but not the least, what would be the next step after we discuss about this halal things? Okay, when we talk about halal in Indonesia, it actually started back in '76, so it's quite a long time ago. But the when we talk about the legal aspect, the background is we can start from 2014 when the government and the legislation put out the what we call Undang-Undang or Act number 33 2014 regarding the halal product assurance. So in this act, it is mandatory that all the product should have a certificate to be consumed, to be sold and distributed in Indonesia. And in 1920, there's another act number 11. This is a job creations law, but this law actually mentioned a little bit about the halal product assurance. And before 2014, halal in Indonesia is done by the MUI itu apa ya? MUI is an organizations of the Muslim ulama. And starting 2014, it is legally it is the government who's taking over the certifications and assurance process. And then in 2019, we have the government regulations. PP is peraturan pemerintah, government regulations, who stipulates the implementations of halal product. Now, if we look at the halal product, it is actually said that all product must be certified as halal starting 5 years from 2014. And then otherwise, the product must be labeled as non-halal. So there are only two kind of product in Indonesia later on, which is the halal certified or the non-halal. Now, the category is the end product, and the other is the raw material and the additive, also the material for processing. It must be all certified halal. So if the one of the aspect or one of the ingredient is not halal, then it will not be certified as halal. Now this is in Indonesia. This talk about the all the product. I will put the English versions. As per October 17, all the product entering Indonesia, distributed in Indonesia, or being sold in Indonesia, is mandatory to have halal certificate. That will be 2024. That is the current regulations. So what are the products? There are goods like foods, beverages, medicines, cosmetics, chemical products, biological products. Also, which is interesting, is the wearable and usable products. So all the products that you use or you wear, mainly that derive from animal, must have a halal certificate. And then there are services that must be certified halal, which is the slaughtery. For example, Richard Lazarus said that you have chicken, you want to export to Indonesia. Of course, the slaughtery of the chicken and the processing of the chicken must be in a halal way. In addition, some of the services will be storage, the preservations, packaging, distributions, also selling, and also serving. Serving in this case is like restaurants and the likes. So what is the objective? Ibu Mary already mentioned previously. The objective is, number one, of course, to provide the security, the convenience, safety, and assurance of halal products for people consuming it in Indonesia. But the second thing, which is now being like a lifestyle, is to improve the value add for business, meaning that those companies who are selling their product and don't have the certification or halal certification, then there will be excluded in the market. Now, the assurance of halal consists of the material, the process, and then the procedures and the management system. Now, I would like to point out here in the one that I underlined with the red, the mandatory halal certifications will come into force after 5 years since this law was enacted. Meaning, if the law 2014, actually this mandatory halal should be in force 2019. But then in 2019, the government gave another 5 years. That means 2024. And by 2024, I don't think there will be another delay in forcing the halal certifications. And it is going to be done in stages. Yeah. So the top one, makanan minuman, is food and beverages. It is done now. And then the supplements, the medicines, and the cosmetics, it is started already 2021 until the 2026 timeline. There are 3 institutions that will determine whether the product can be certified halal. The first one is what we call the BPJPH. This is part of the Ministry of Religions in Indonesia. They are the one who manage all the certifications of halal products. So the registration will come into BPJPH. And then there is what we call MUI. This will stipulate the fatwa whether the product is decided to be halal or not halal. This is done by the MUI. But of course, before they can decide this halal or not halal, it must be inspected, audited by inspection body called LPH, Lembaga Pemeriksa Halal. So Lembaga Pemeriksa Halal is the auditor that will check your products, your procedures, your processes, whether it is conform to the management system to ensure that the product is halal. After that, after the audit, when you pass the audit, then you will go to the Fatwa Halal MUI. And if everything is fine, then the BPJPH will issue the halal certificates. The process, this is in Indonesian. I'm getting this so that it is simpler. Pelaku usaha here is the businesses. So businesses will register to BPJPH, and the government will do some verifications, and if everything is fine, then the government will appoint the auditing body or inspection body to check whether our system, our materials, our processes is conform to the halal procedures. And at the moment, we have 11 organizations that is doing the audit. After the audit, it will come back to the government, BPJPH, and then it will be sent to MUI for getting the decisions or the fatwa, whether it is halal or not halal. This relates to the regulations in the Muslim religion. And everything is fine, then the government will issue the certificates. This is a little bit detail. Actually, before sending it to the government, you can discuss with the consultant, or you can discuss with the auditing body, and then discuss about the costs for auditing, because they will decide whether you need some lab assessment or lab testing or not, and whether your procedures and the materials is extensive or not. Then they will come up with the estimations of the cost. After that, then you have to pay, then start scheduling the audit. Then after the audit is done, about a couple of weeks, then you have the status of the decisions, whether it is according to the system or not. But then it will go to the government and go to the Fatwa Commission's meeting, MUI, and if you get the decisions, then it will be issued. This is the website where we register to the government. There's a system called C-Halal. And what I want to point out is when we go into the C-Halal for the overseas company, then you have to choose that the company is actually overseas. And what are the documents needed for getting the halal certifications? Of course, you need to submit the applications, the registration form. It is in the C-Halal websites. And you have to include the copy of business license. In this case, in Indonesia, we have the NIB, the business license, Indonesian business license, and then a copy of halal supervisor determinations letter. Each and every company who produce halal product must have a halal supervisor, and this person must be Muslim, of course, and then must go into training. In some cases, you have to have the professional certifications as the halal supervisor. And then you need to put in the type of products and list of products and materials and the manufacturing process, and of course the bulk of the document that need to be submitted is the halal assurance system document. This is very much like the ISO 9000 documents. So you have to have a working instruction, you have to have records, all the document where you get the material from and where you get the packaging from must be inside the halal assurance system documents. And this is the details of what you need to have as far as license and the other things. Okay, now that is the document required by the government, and this list, the 14 list that I'm putting up here, is the document needed by the auditors. So the auditor will look at your HAS is halal assurance system, yeah, all the manuals, all the documents, because we need to develop the manuals, the working instructions and the records. And then for the one who already have a halal certificate but wants to change or want to extend halal certificate, then they must submit this certificate and status. And then the flow process, and there is a statement of pork-free facility. So the facility must be split if you are processing pork and other meat, then you need to split the facility. It must be a different facility, and you have to have a statement that your facility for halal products is pork free. And then the address list of all the facility, if you have many facilities, and you need to put like a poster to say the halal policy, and it must be evidence that you have the halal policy, and the management team, and you need to have an internal audit before you submit. And then the other requirement like HACCP and other system for food and drug and cosmetic products, if any. And the list of product, list of materials, and the matrix between the materials and the products. So if one product needs 5 of the materials, then you need to put the matrix of this. Okay, now the halal assurance system. Like I mentioned, this is just like the ISO 9000. So the government regulations says that just like in ISO 9000, you have to have internal auditor. In the halal, it is obligatory that you have to have halal supervisor. So this is in the government regulations number 39, including the company that oversees. So you have to have a halal supervisor, which is a Muslim and already gone through the training. So hopefully get the certifications. And this must be in the locations of the productions overseas. Halal assurance system is basically a management system, and this actually pertains to the processing industry, to the restaurants, and the services industry, like including the transporter and warehouse. Because if the warehouse is not certified and you put the food in that warehouse and it's contaminated, then it becomes non-halal. Because halal is not only about what you call it, the pork related things, but halal also includes the cleanliness, the hygiene, and healthiness of the products. So if your products is actually contaminated with dirts and all the other things that considered to be non-halal, then it becoming not halal. Okay, so inside the halal assurance system, you have to have halal policy, you have to have a team of halal management, you must conduct training for the people who are processing the products, and you have to have the list of material, the products, and the facility. This may include the facility for storing and processing the products. And very important is to have auditability or traceability. So when we need to trace back, for example, if I buy the chicken from the market, then it must be able to be traced where I buy it from and whether the one who sell the chicken to me is actually a halal product. And then if you have a non-halal product, then you have to have the handling procedures. As I mentioned before, it must be separate facility than the halal. And you have to have internal auditor, which is the halal supervisor, and must have a review from time to time in the system. So the halal policy must be written and it must be put somewhere in the facility. The management team, for a small company, the owner is the management team and the owner can be the supervisor. So you can have maybe a small company consists of only 2 persons and that will become the management team. But of course, for the big company, you might want to have a separate management team. And halal management team shall involve personnel who know how to handle critical activities. In this case, trained and certified, what I call penyelia halal or halal supervisor. Training and education must be done from time to time. Yeah, there is a requirement. At least in 2 years, you have to have people who are trained in halal because there will be some updates on the requirement. The materials, the list of material, the processing aids. If you have material used to assist the productions, for example, like water to clean up the meat, for example, it must be put in this material list. Yeah, and it must be halal as well. So it cannot be contaminated with pork or even with something that is dirty and non-halal. Lubricant, greases from the machinery, all the equipment that is used must be included in the list. The non-critical materials, there are a list of positive list materials, which is a non-critical. It is excluded from the halal requirement, meaning that if you use that material which is in the positive list, then it is considered halal. The critical materials must be supported by the halal document. So if I use a packaging, for example, the plastic packaging, then the producer of the plastic packaging must have the halal certificate. The production facility, you have to have a little map drawing how the production flow and must be pork free. The freezer and chiller also must be certified halal, meaning it is separated from pork and some of the non-halal substance. The product, the end product that you produce, of course, you have to put in all the end product. As a matter of fact, the productions need to be recorded. So if I'm producing so many kilograms per day or so many tons per month, then it must be recorded. The procedures must be written, especially for the critical activities. Then I mentioned about traceability. At least we need to be able to prove that all the materials, all the process that we have done is halal. This is again the handling of non-conformity products. And very important to have the internal audit. So it must conform to the 11 criteria in the system, in the halal assurance system, and it must be done, the audit must be done at least once a year. And then the management review usually follow the audit. After the audit, then the management must see whether any part of the process, any part of the materials is non-conforming to the halal. Okay, so what is next? Maybe the first thing is to understand the halal certification requirement. A lot of things need to be understood. There are trainings that we can provide to understand the halal certification requirement. And then we need to determine the halal policy and supervisor, halal supervisor. That needs to be done. Internal training for halal assurance system, that also needed to be understood before we prepare the halal assurance system documents. There is a template of the documents, so we can follow the template. Once the template is completed, the document is completed, we need to inform all the party involved. If this is a big company, then all the employee that related to the processing and storing and preserving the products must understand what is inside the halal assurance documents. And the implementations, we need to have a record that we already implement, and we do the audit. And then once we have the review and we determine that everything is okay, then we can submit the whole documents, the certifications to be registered to the government, to the BPJPH, and to the audit body, as well as the MUI for the fatwa. And for the training, business work together with IHATEC. IHATEC is the organization, big organizations in Indonesia that is doing the training for halal. So later on, maybe we can discuss how we can do this. This can be partly online. This can be done offline in Indonesia, or we can bring the trainer to Papua New Guinea if it is needed. Okay, basically that is what I have to put up for the discussions. I'm hoping that there will be some question, and I'm sure there are a lot of questions. if it can be asked now, it is very good. But if not, then maybe later on we can address the questions with the information that is needed. Okay, Pak Adi, I'll give the floor back to you.
Thank you, Pak Kenneth. Thank you. It's very thorough explanation on the halal certification in Indonesia. I take a note of some of the points that you mentioned in your presentation. Halal certification will be the requirement for the food, the beverage, and also for other products that will enter into Indonesia. Starting on the 2024, it's going to be mandatory for any kind of product that's be sold in Indonesia. And then the other the other things that I take a note in your presentation is also the halal certification is not only regulation from the Muslim religion, but also in terms of the halal style is also it can be done. And it's not only the pork related substance, it's also for the how to prepare it, the process itself, it can be categorized as the halal requirement. So ladies and gentlemen, right now we are open for discussion with Pak Ganet and also Pak Budi. Is there is any question that you may address related to halal certification, and also you can also questioning or you can also make a question regarding of the situation or the any kind of product that you can sell in Indonesia in regard of the halal certification as well. Maybe Pak Richard, Mr. Richard Lazarus, or Miss Dorothy Luana, you may raise the question to Pak Ganet. Ibu Mari can also give a question also. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you for the presentation. It's well documented, well presented. Really appreciate. And from Mount Again, I'm very happy. Okay, my question now. I was an analyst province. Sure. My question now about the training now. Training, it will take probably 10 weeks. Yeah, I guess 10 weeks or 10 weeks training.
No.
Oh.
The preparations, of submitting to have a certified product in Indonesia. Then, if you start now, it will take approximately 10 weeks. That is approximately. That is the action plan, I call it.
Okay.
The training for understanding the halal, the training is only 3 days.
Oh, sorry. How many days?
3 days. 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 days training. Okay. So, is it online training or somebody from Indonesia will come here and train us? That I'm not sure.
Yeah. We have online training, and
Okay.
we also have the offline training.
Okay.
The offline training, of course, it is more intensive. It will cover everything from how you develop the documents, as well as getting the certifications for the halal supervisor. So this is all included in one training for 3 days. And inside the training, we will ask you to bring in your documents, your materials, your products, and list down, and then we will help you to develop the halal assurance system documents. That is included in the training.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
if I might add a little bit, Pak Lazarus, Mr. Richard, that the Ibu Mari right now is have planning to organize the training in Papua New Guinea regarding of the food labeling and also the packaging and labeling as well, and she think about to combine it with the halal certification training in in Papua New Guinea. Maybe later on, Ibu Mari, Miss Mari, can explain a little bit about her planning to do the training in Papua New Guinea.
Okay, that's very good. So your agent in here now is Miss Maria.
Yes, sir.
In PNG,
Ibu Mari is our representative in Papua New Guinea at this time.
Okay, training and other requirements that we need to get that certificate, Halal certificate. I think from here, that's the one that we will go through the, I think.
Yes, Ibu Mari will help to bridge between you and our side in Indonesia here. Maybe Ibu Mari, you can add something else.
Okay, thank you so much for that question, Richard. Yes, so just picking up from what Adi has said, we are planning to roll out the training for packaging and labeling at the end of September, early October, just before the Trade Expo Indonesia. So we're trying to position ourselves so that, you know, so there's a logical reason why we want to do that. But with the Halal certification and the training that we want to, or we can offer that earlier than that, if we are able to get the expertise and we have the funding and sponsorship to be able to bring in the expertise, the expert for that. So because the packaging and labeling will be across all products, not just food, it'll be every other product. But for the Halal certification, it's because it's a very specific requirement. We would like to have it sort of rather concentrated 3-day training for which we will get the expertise through our business partners' business. So I hope that is clear. Does that make sense?
Okay, thank you. Ms. Mari, you representing from a PNG's perspective, you're representing as a government official or an individual representing Indonesia? Because I'm the public servant here as the business development officer, representing the province of Western Islands and trying to export these raw materials. Well, yeah, actually, we've got raw materials here. I'm not into processing, and I don't have the factory and all the stuff. So that's why I'm just a bit curious about that one too, and my province here. And regarding the next question regarding the training, you said 3 days training. So about funding and all those things, are we be able to find it ourselves, or there are some subsidies or about training, and then are we be able to go to Indonesia as well? Or I'm asking Kenneth and Muhammad Bodhi too. So we trying to go and are we be able to come up with some MOU with like government officials like that too, or no? So there are some avenues and ways to like that, or no? So that's what I'm inquiring too. Thank you.
Okay, if I can just answer that. We are a business partner for BizNeeds, who's bringing this webinar now, this information on Halal certification. So we are partners in that respect. I don't work for the government. I am a small business. I'm an SME partnering with BizNeeds to actually bring this kind of thing into Papua New Guinea, to introduce another way of looking at how to export into the Indonesian market specifically. And so we will help to facilitate whatever, but also with the training, as Pak Ganet said and Pak Adia said, the training can be offline, which is, it can be held here in PNG, excuse me, or it can be held in Indonesia. We haven't talked about that just yet because we wanted to see the reaction of whoever is attending. And so we're very blessed to hear that question from you, because it will help us to see where would be the best benefit for Papua New Guineans to be trained in getting products halal certified, specifically for the Indonesian market. So there's an avenue for thinking here as to how we can roll it out so it's more beneficial to people like yourself and Ibu Dorothy. So I hope that explains it. Pak Adi, you want to add?
Thank you.
Yes.
Maybe Pak Budi want to add? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Mr. Lazarus.
Oh, sorry. I'm from the islands of PNG. I'm not close to a coastal area where we have the port in Leh and like export to Indonesia or Jaipura or like that. So our government, like at the moment, our Prime Minister James Mara, as I've said, he went then to Indonesia, met his counterpart, the president there, and then they came up with an agreement that Mount Agen, Western Islands Province, direct Kagamoy Airport direct connect to Indonesia, Jaipura. So we can export our product on aeroplane, by aeroplane. Will that be possible? So I'm just asking.
Very good.
Mr. Richard, may I ask you what product do you have in mind that you would like to export?
Okay, like for chicken and other meat products, we've got demand here. We've got a lot of people looking after chicken, poultry, and all these things. Like we want to export, but then how can we be able to export via plane? And then number two question, okay, we've got the farm produce, like as I've said, the pineapple, cow, okay, broccoli. They are homegrown, are not a chemical mixed product, but they are directly from the land, because our land is very fertile. So that's why we want to export coffee as well. Okay. We want to export a sweet potato, cow, and potato as well to your country. We've got a lot to offer to your country. So that's why the important thing here now is the linkage, the connection where we are coming in. But that's long overdue for our two countries, our two beautiful countries. We are so close, so near, but we didn't connect, I think. So I think Mari, you are doing great job. I'm really thankful for that, because somebody has to create link. After all, we're human beings. We're human beings, so we need to create that linkage and that bondage through business partners or in other areas. So in religion and other areas. So for business, as I've said, I just want to connect with you guys, and that's why for Port Moresby we have connection there now. Like my sister Dorothy, I think she's out of Port Moresby, so for herself she will say it, but for me as Western Islands, I can't be able to directly ship my product. So that's why I want that connection, air to air connection, so that we have to export our product here, the produce here. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Lazarus, for some of the product that you mentioned, like banana, peanuts, pineapple, coffee, as long as it is not being processed, which means it is natural, it does not need halal certifications. It does not need. But once you process, for example, you put it in a can, pineapple, and then you preserve with sugar, with whatever, syrup, for example, then you will need the certifications.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Gannett.
But the one that meat products, chicken or other meat products, of course, you need the halal certifications. because even for chicken, for slaughtering the chicken, it must be conform to the halal procedures.
Okay, good one. So
yeah, in this case, maybe you can discuss with Miss Mary the one that relates to the halal and the certificates, and the one that does not need the halal certificate. It can be done on a separate process, separate selling process.
Thank you, Pak Kenneth. Yes. Pak Budi, do you have any comment on regarding on how to increase the trading, between Papua New Guinea and Indonesia, especially on the western side of Papua New Guinea?
Western Island.
Yes, Western Island Province. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Mr. Lazarus, one of my comment is that if I understand you correctly, that you have a problem of shipping it directly through air because there is no transportation to send the product from your side to Indonesia. So one of the things that we would like to suggest you that as you have difficulties in sending the product, the processed food is one of the solution, because if you send the fresh product, like you said, broccoli and everything, like you have informed us, you are limited to a certain time because the expiring date is so short. But if you have a processed product, it will prolong your expiry date. The second thing is that when you really would like to send your product, to export your product to Indonesia, one of the good things to do is you could find a partner in Indonesia who could support you to market your product here in Indonesia, because it's more more important to market the product before you send it. And it's a very good opportunity. As you know, the number of Indonesian people is it's a good market for a product from your side. So is it possible? Yes, it is possible, as long as we could do it in certain ways. First, we should have follow the regulation. And the second, of course, the in the marketing side and also the logistics side. This is why we open communication with Miss Mary, so that if you send it alone by yourself, product is very expensive. But if you send it together with some producer in PNG, it may affect the efficiencies of the cost of logistic. So it will open. I hope this today is the only a starting point to open communication. Then you could see the possibilities. So we are not only interested of sending our product, Indonesian product, to Papua New Guinea, but we also interested in opening relationship to market your product in Indonesia.
Thank you.
Maybe that's one point of discussion that we could discuss later on.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Ibu Mari, go ahead if you want to add something.
Yes, I just wonder. Thank you so much, Pak Richard, for that. Maybe Ibu Dorothy, if you have any questions, you can ask us. You can ask the panel.
Yes, my question is related to the supervisor. In the presentation, you spoke about the supervisor must be a Muslim. So the question I'm raising is, how do we manage that in PNG, where personally I don't know who is out here in Papua New Guinea who can do that for us. We have very big companies, medium-sized companies, and growing MSMEs who are all interested in trade. So how do we, can you re-explain how we can manage this issue of compliance, the compliance around the supervisory requirements for certification, being a Muslim? Or maybe I heard incorrectly.
Thank you, Ms. Dorothy, for the questions. Very interesting, and this kind of question actually comes from many countries who is, let's say, is not a Muslim country. Basically, what we can do is, if you have a bigger company there, you can hire a person, a Muslim person, to become the halal supervisor, and this person will serve several companies. Okay. Meaning that you join together, because the halal supervisor does not have to be there every day, but needs to be there from time to time to check whether your process, the materials and everything conform to the halal assurance system. So this is one way of doing it. So maybe several company hire one person to be the halal supervisor for them. But the requirement is must be in a local, in one localized sites. Yeah, meaning the halal supervisor cannot be in Port Moresby while the processing in the Western Island. It will be difficult for the person to go back and forth for a long distance.
Okay, so when it comes to training, we will participate in the training so that we are aware of what the process is regardless. So even though we may, for example, say if I'm in East New Britain and there are 5 companies that will be interested in halal certification, we can hire one person who can provide the certification for us. But us as business owners, we can still participate in the training so we know what is expected.
Yes.
All right. Okay, thank you. Yes. My question is answered.
May I ask you, excuse me, may I add something? We also discussed this regard, Pak Ganet, with the LPPOM MUI with regard to the supervisor that has to be a Muslim.
Yes.
Because we understood that in certain areas it's difficult to get a Muslim. So what another alternative, adding to what already explained by Pak Ganet, is that you could also appoint a representative here in Jakarta, for example, who will be guiding you, supervising the halal process in your premises through some kind of system, because in some areas you could find Islamic center there. I don't know in your local, if you could find Islamic. Then one of the alternative is that you should appoint representative, or your importer here in Indonesia could perform as a halal supervisor. I hope this gives you some alternative in doing halal certification.
Yes, I'm located in East New Britain, which is an island up north of Papua New Guinea. It's up in the north. I know there are a lot of Muslims in Mosby, but in Kokopo and East New Britain, I am sure there are some, but they could be already occupied. They could be occupied with some other jobs, but I'm sure that some of them are aware, and some of them, because they are already part of the religion, they may already be aware and may be willing to be a part of the process. So for us Papua New Guineans who are generally Christians or just non-religious, our market is also other, local also, because even Muslims come to our shops, they don't buy our products because they don't see the halal certification. So they just look at it and they walk away. So the opportunity is also for us locally, because we have a growing Muslim population. It is not one that will not grow, it will grow. And we are aware that there is also that market opportunity locally too. Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Dorothy. So there's a way alternative. Okay, Pak Ganati here is already share the screen that during the pandemic COVID-19, the remote audit of implementation of halal assurance system can be made also with the video conference platform like Zoom, Skype, WebEx, MS Teams, Hangout, and etc. etc. This is the way to handle your situation over there. Okay. Is there anything that you want to ask, Miss Dorothy or Mr. Lazarus?
For me,
Yes.
I am this Dorothy. Yeah. I am in the primary produce sector, meaning that a lot of our products are in the primary produce, like cocoa, coffee, herbs and spices, honey, etc. So for export at this stage, it may take another few years to get to that stage, but I think it's still timely, because we are just beginning to discuss these matters, and as my company grows, I believe that there is opportunity there. So
yes,
even products
course.
like vanilla, etc. I know just from listening to you that some of these products don't need halal, but for a few other products, as we go through them, you will explain more clearly. Like for example, herbs and spices. Does that need halal? Cocoa or cacao, that is goes through stage 1 of the process before export, and so on. Virgin coconut oil, etc. So I'm beginning to understand what you need, but over time we'll learn more.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's the idea. Yes. And Buddy, oh yes.
Yes.
If I can just add on, thank you so much, Ibu Dorothy, for sharing that. That's very, very important, and I think that's been amply, and sufficiently covered. So that's really good. And I think because it's a new thing, it's a novelty, we will explore this to make halal certification, its supervision, its management, and the list of products that are non-halal or halal is then made available or accessible to us. So it is a start. And as Ibu Dorothy said, it's timely that it's coming at this stage. so that we will learn as we go along, and maybe in our own production, we can also see what can be exported overseas, but also within the domestic market, we will also have a market opportunity here. So for us, it's great to know that we could be growing together. And because can I ask some questions?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. About I wanted a bit more clarification from Paganet about the legislation that when in 2019 you have or 2020 you have the legislation which is still valid if people are ready to export from here meat, for instance, and poultry, say from the big companies. How does it work? Is that legislation still valid for them to?
Yes. Basically,
to get a certification.
Yeah. Basically, the legislations, the act is put out by the government in 2014. And then it is said that it will be enforced in 2019. But then by 2019, the government gave another staging time to 2024. So by 2024, if you don't have the halal certificate, then you must put the non-halal label there.
Okay.
And once you put non-halal label in Indonesia, it will not be, the market is very, very small. Number one is because of the, it is non-eatable by the Muslim. Number two is once you are stamped by the society as non-halal, then most people will not come to your place or will not buy your product. And it has happened before when there is an issue that a certain product, they call it is non-halal because it is contaminated with some other things. And then all of a sudden, the whole Indonesia, nobody buys it, including the non-Muslim people. I give you example, the medicine. The medicine, the capsule, apa namanya, gelatin ya, Pak Budi mungkin. The capsule
yes, gelatin.
is using the gelatin for the capsule, and it is made from a portion of the pork. So once it is identified by the government that a certain medicine is contaminated with pork, then all of a sudden nobody buy that medicine, and they are forced to revamp their production facility and get the halal certifications and even change the name of the medicines, because people already have a stigma that from that company, from that pharmaceutical company, it is non-halal and nobody buys it. So it is a big problem once you are put into a non-halal category in Indonesia. It's a big problem in terms of business, and it's very difficult to recover. A lot of money has been put just to be able to recover, even with a different product name and a different company name.
Yeah, sure.
But people will still see that, hey, this is the same people. This is the one who used to run that manufacturing, the pharmaceutical company. So that is what happened in Indonesia. So if you want to tap the Indonesian market, once it is being enforced, then you better have that certificate. Now, why we business encourage people to do the certification today? because there are 65 million company wants to get the certifications by 2024, and only 11 audit company who are currently can do the audit, and only one MUI company that will decide the fatwa whether this is halal or not halal. So you can imagine, once you wait until 2023 or the end of 2023, then the process will take some times. So the earlier you do it, the better, because you don't have to wait in line with this 65 million company. So you can imagine the government will have a nightmare trying to process even 20,000 or 30,000 company to get the certifications. So we encourage people to do it now. If you want to export to Indonesia, do it now, while all the regulation and everything is still lenient. Yeah. For example, like you mentioned about the audit. Audit can be done even online, as long as you have provided the system. Yeah? So you have to provide the system in there. For example, import Moresby, and then the audit company in Indonesia can do it legally to do the audit online. I hope that clarify.
Yeah, no, that's
why we push it right now.
Yes. Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much, Pak Garnet, for that. Yeah, I was a bit confused, but yes, the enforcement. So if it's 2014, you have given yourselves
23.
You've given yourselves
5 years until 2019.
Yeah.
And then 2019,
5
the
years.
government give another 5 years for the law enforcement.
Another 5 years, yes. Wonderful. So the enforcement, so that's really good. That gives, now you mentioned something about, like let's say for cosmetics, the virgin coconut oil, or first of all, the list. Is it possible to get a list of the products, or is that up to the audit to determine whether the virgin coconut oil, for instance, can be certified, halal certified, or it can be non-halal, but it can still find a market there?
Yeah, basically, if it is natural, it is raw.
Natural, okay.
Yeah, you don't do any processing at all, then it is considered to be halal. Yeah, so you can apply for the halal certificate, no problem.
Okay.
But as I understand it, coconut oil or coconut, if it is natural, it is raw, it will not last for long. So normally you put some preservative. There are some preservative that considered to be halal, but mostly some of the preservative must follow the procedures to make sure that it is halal.
Yeah. Well, that's really helpful. Thank you so much, Pak Garnet. That seems to answer my questions as well. And then later on, we can, I'll talk to business about the training, and we will be able to let businesses here know about the training that's available. And also just picking up on Parij's question about training in Indonesia, what is possible, and that that's something that we can discuss after this webinar.
Our pleasure.
Thank you, Miss Marie. Thank you, Mr. Richard Lazarus and Miss Dorothy. It's very, I think it's the event right now is very fruitful for you all to understand about the halal certification, and also to understand about the potential market in Indonesia and Papua New Guinea as well. It's already 12:07 in here in Indonesia. I think
Adi,
yes. You want to add something?
Ada Pak Henry Nugraha.
Yes,
I think
of course.
he's from Bandung. Maybe it's better if we.
Pak Henry, yes.
Yeah. Pak Henry Nugraha.
Time maybe he wants to access the PNG market or whatever.
Of course, Pak Henry. Pak Henry Nugraha is our SME in Bandung area, Ibu Mari.
Okay.
In Sumedang, yeah. Pak Henry, can you hear us?
Yeah, as I understand it, he put in the chat room that he is providing some clothings, children's and women's clothing, if not mistaken. Yeah, women's, men and children's clothing product.
Okay.
So clothing is no need to have a halal certification, Pak Ganet, ya?
If it is taken from the animal.
So, for example, leather jacket, something like that.
If clothing like this clothing is from the
cotton.
plantations, yeah. So
yes.
From cotton, so it does not need any certification. But if I put something here, maybe I don't know, snake skin or whatever, then yeah. Or even even for the button, if you use apa tulang itu? Bones. Yeah, if you use bone for the button, then your clothing must be certified halal.
Okay.
I see. So even though the clothing is not a food, it still need a halal certification if it's come from the animal.
From animals, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, Pak Henry, do you want to say something?
Pak Henry, ada yang mau disampaikan dalam bahasa Indonesia?
Ada yang mau disampaikan, Pak Henry? Ya, tadi dari awal Pak Henry sudah join.
Ya nggak apa-apa kalau misalnya nggak ada, mungkin next time.
Nggak apa-apa juga.
Pak Henry bisa sampaikan ke kami, ke bisnis, masukkan ke admin kami, ada WA-nya di business.com untuk melihat pasar ataupun mengimpor dari Papua New Guinea ataupun dari negara lain, silakan.
Yes, very good. Okay, is there anything that since it's already 12:10 in Indonesia or 3 p.m. in 3 p.m. in Papua New Guinea? Very thank you so much for attending this event, Mr. Richard Lazarus, Ms. Dorothy, and also Ms. Mariana Eddington. Actually, we have one more participant, but it seems that the connection is not too good. I saw Miss Rachel Tokoro from Papua New Guinea as well. Yes, but it seems that it's a bad connection. Okay, thank you. Is there we are now open for the the closing statement from Ibu Mari and Pak Ganet as well, Pak Budi, and maybe Pak Richard Lazarus and Ibu Dorothy. This time is for you, Ibu Mariana.
Okay. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for making this information available, because this is something important as we look to Indonesia as a potential market for Papua New Guinea products. We will make it our business in AIDAN Limited to make sure that if there are any conditions and terms that we need to understand about the markets that we're opening up for our SMEs, that there are no obstacles. And if there are, then we want to be able to work through them. And we also, on the other side, want to know that there are conditions that we need to comply with for various markets that will become available through our business to open that up for Papua New Guinea SMEs, our international business pathway. So I am very, very glad that this is something we didn't foresee in Indonesia. The halal certification, I thought it just only applied to, meat handlers, but it actually everything that we need to export when the law is is enforced in Indonesia. We don't want to miss out. We want to know. So from my desk, I'd like to say that if we can discuss the training opportunity for the SMEs here and companies here, we'd be very open to facilitate that, before the end of the year, if we can this year, so that our people can comply before the 2024 deadline for enforcement over there. But thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to learn a little bit more about halal certification, how important it is, and it can be important for moving forward for our own market here and our own lives. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Bu Mari. Then now, Pak Ganet, is there any closing statement and Pak Budi? But before that, we're going to have a group photo first before the closing statement from Pak Budi and Pak Ganet, and maybe Pak Richard Lazarus and also Ibu Dorothy want to say something before we closing down this event. Okay, would you please open the? Yes. Yes, will you please open the camera, and then we have our admin here. We're going to take the picture for documentation.
Thank you.
Let me open
Your video.
Yes,
Itu Pak
the
Henry.
video. Oh, Pak Henry sudah join lagi.
Okay.
Okay, Sonia, can you take the picture?
Oh, sorry.
1, 2, 3.
I go to meeting chat. I go to meeting chat.
1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Pak Ganet, do you have any closing statement before we continue?
Yes, I thank Ibu Mari and all our friends from PNG for listening to the discussions and for the questions. And if in the future you need another sessions like this with more participants, then I think we are willing to do it again, maybe in shorter versions, because maybe my presentation is a little bit too long. Anyway, if you have any other questions, maybe later on, or from some other companies in PNG, please put all the questions in our website in the admin sections, and I will try to get the answer for all the questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Ganet. Pak Budi, do you have any closing statement?
Thank you.
Maybe Pak Richard Lazarus first. You may say something.
Yeah, sorry, I can't be able to put on the camera again.
No problem, sir.
Sorry. Thank you very much for the in-depth presentation here. I really learned a lot of things from you guys. So I think 2024 is the due date. So can you guys be able to give us opportunity? The first comers, I think 3 or 4 of us, first we are on board. So I think if you guys, I would rather ask if you guys give us the opportunity so we can at least guide us through, so we can get that certificate would be great. So that's my question. I really want to get that certificate, and how can I be able to get that certificate? It's a bit long process, but can you be able to, your team be able to help us make it easy in some areas where we are unable to assist ourselves, so you can come on board and help us so we can get that certificate, because I know that we are the first guys in PNG and other areas, I think, come on board because we are close. Our countries are very close and like that, so I really want to
Mr. Lazarus?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lazarus. It seems that Mr. Lazarus want to be the first person in Papua New Guinea who has the halal certificate.
Yes, why not?
Why not? Yes, we will help you. Okay. Miss Dorothy, do you want to say something before we close the event?
Thank you very much for the time. I also learned a lot. It just happens that tomorrow I will be doing a presentation at the University of Natural Resources here in East New Britain on, business, agro-business. Yes. So one of the things that I will mention tomorrow is opportunities for export. And if you want to export to Indonesia, you must be halal certified. So thank you. As we say in East New Britain, Boina Tuna. Thank you.
Boina Tuna.
Boina Tuna.
Indonesia, you say what? Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Yes. That's correct. That's correct.
I went to one Indonesian class to try and learn Indonesian when I was very young.
I see. But you still remember of terima kasih.
I still remember a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Pak Budi, it's your time for the closing statement. And also, if you want to comment about Pak Lazarus' last question or last requirement. Thank you.
Thank you, Adi. Thank you, Mr. Lazarus and Ms. Ruana, Ms. Ellington, for your participation in this today's event. Pak Nugraha, terima kasih. Pak Henry sudah hadir. I'm very happy to have this discussion today because this opened up a lot of opportunity for everybody who attend this. Mr. Lazarus, we will make sure that business and Miss Mary will discuss something, how to make the possibilities of training and having a halal certificate for Papua New Guinea's producer will be available soon, so that you can not only learn but also get the certificate. One of the things that I mentioned earlier, that it is important to have a representative for you here in Jakarta or in other part of Indonesia if you would like to send your product here. And I think Ms. Mary already have initiative of how we gonna do matchmaking between our producer in Indonesia and also producer in Papua New Guinea. So hopefully this is the first step for us to increase the trade between Indonesia, not only export from Indonesia but also export from Papua New Guinea. So thank you very much for everything that has been discussed here, and hopefully we will create something fruitful for our businesses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So it's already 12:21 in Indonesia, or it's about 3:21 in Papua New Guinea. It's quite afternoon right now. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for coming, and see again this webinar in our YouTube channel. Yes. So and also you can send the link of YouTube channel to your colleagues in Papua New Guinea and in Indonesia as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody for coming, and we hope this is not the first and the last. So thank you. And in Indonesia, saya wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Henry, terima kasih Pak Henry.
Terima kasih Pak Henry.
Pertanyaan jangan sungkan-sungkan masukin di website kami Pak Henry.
Ya mari, assalamualaikum. Izin live.